How's it going? It's Tim. I'm a photographer and video maker in the UK, and this is my series of videos where I talk to other creators who are on their way up to understand what makes things awesome, what makes things less than awesome, and hopefully some stuff we can learn from. So today we're talking to J Reid. I've followed this guy since September 2019. I wanted to go to Power Video, couldn't go, did some searching on YouTube and found this guy making some really great videos. So Stephen, thank you so much for coming for a chat. Tell people who you are, what you do.
Day job, I do commercial video production based in Northern Ireland, and then on YouTube I make a bit of a random collection of videos. I say probably the top line claim I will make is that I make the most entertaining running videos on YouTube, but I also do videos about tech, but I try to specialize in like small cameras and drones, so things like GoPros and DJI Pocket and 360 cameras, rather than like, you know, bigger, what I'm filming this on now. So yeah, it's an odd mix of outdoors and technology would be a way of describing it. The channel has an identity problem.
You've given me some good advice in the past about sort of not being too tight on a niche and stuff, and I really appreciate that. And I think to me you're my go-to action cam person, so if I've got any questions or I'm considering an action cam or a small camera thing, I think your videos are the first ones I go to. So, and your running videos, I think you're slightly crazy. I wish I had that in me to run the kind of distances you do. So the first question is, how did you get into making YouTube videos?
Well, I'll try and summarize it because it's a long story. Basically, I started doing Instagram stories of the places I was running. This is before I was doing YouTube. I was doing video at this point. I came from a graphic design background and then moved into video, but I was just doing like straightforward commercial type work. Wasn't doing YouTube. To be honest, if I saw somebody out with a camera filming themselves, my reaction would be, what a tube. I despised any kind of like personal branding stuff. Complete cynic. Oh how things have changed. I was out just doing Instagram stories of places I was running, and I got into trail running, and someone on the local council followed me on Instagram and saw some of the places I was running, and they basically saw that I was quite good at, here I am out in the middle of nowhere showing this off. Oh look, I found a lizard. And they contacted me and said, would you be interested in making videos like that, except to promote local tourism? Which seems like such an obvious idea, that kind of vlog style travel tourism content now, but it had never been done before locally. This was, when was this? 2017, 2018 was the first year we did it. So I did those projects. We made like a series of vlogs showing off like the local area around where I live in Northern Ireland, and it was a massive success. It was probably one of the most successful projects the council had ever done, because normally they just put up like really boring, straightforward informational videos. So these worked really, really well, and it got me thinking, oh, people actually enjoy these videos that I make with me in them, filming myself talking like an idiot. So that kind of planted a seed, and then at the same time I was going to Power Video conference in Belfast, and I just had this idea on, I think it was like the last day, I can't remember which year it is, my memory is terrible for years, I forget what age I am, which is good. Once you hit your 30s you want to forget what age you are, but on one of the last days somebody was talking about what it takes to get a channel going, and right in the middle of the conference I just had this, you know what, I'm going to try starting a YouTube channel, and I'm going to do it for 6 months. I actually walked out of the conference, skipped a couple of the talks. I took an Uber to a camera shop, bought a camera on the spot just for doing YouTube videos. I already had a camera, but it was like I mentally needed to buy a separate device just for YouTube to like, as to kick me. I think I bought a Panasonic G85, and that started it. Just went out, bought the camera, made the decision on the spot, went back to the conference having missed half of it, and that's sort of what got me started at the very, very beginning. I probably could have summarised that better. That's
really cool. Yeah, and I think that knowing that, it makes even more sense of your content. The fact you do the running videos and things, that's kind of where it's come from, as opposed to a strategic or accidental, piece of content.
Yeah.
So throughout your YouTube career, what's been the sort of biggest surprise or the biggest thing you've learnt from making videos for YouTube?
There's probably been lots of surprises, but the biggest one, and the one that hits a lot of people, is how hard it is to actually grow on YouTube, and how little at the start people actually care about your videos on YouTube. It's probably, I'd say it's the hardest platform out there to grow on, out of, you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I mean, Instagram's pretty notoriously difficult these days, but if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel that doesn't have a really tight niche, it's incredibly hard to grow on, and it doesn't matter how much effort you put in at the start. You could be producing incredible videos with amazing content, but if you're just starting, no one's gonna watch them, and that's a big surprise. I think the lesson from that is you need to realize if you're actually wanting to do YouTube for anything other than just yourself, and I had that benefit because when I started it was just for me. I just want to see, could I do this for 6 months? What can I learn? And then it started to grow, and at that point I realized maybe this could be something. But if you really want it to, from the start, if you're wanting to grow, you have to accept the fact it's a long-term commitment. You need to post regularly for a long time before things are going to start to grow, and you can't get disappointed after about 10 uploads. I've had quite a few times little people message me, ask me why their channel's not growing, and I'll go in and they might have 6 or 7 videos. Like, you need to be about 30, 40 videos in before you know if it's working or not, I think. And that's a big surprise, just how difficult it is. Yeah,
totally. I'm still in that stage, I think, so I understand that. And you see people come and go from Facebook groups and various forums. And it's always that kind of, I've made 3 videos, what's going on? So, I mean, I guess it's a natural thing. It's probably not such a different question from the way that went, but what's your biggest disappointment or your biggest sort of surprise from doing the videos over the last few years?
Biggest disappointment? Oh, I'll give one other. I had one other point for surprise, and
cool.
Just to, as a counterpoint of encouragement to that first one is what I find massively surprising is how there is an audience for anything, and it's really difficult to know what kind of videos people will engage with. And I'll every now and then I'll do like little series of things I think might work. Like I did a series once called Sit with Steve, where I just sat and said whatever came into my head for like 10 minutes. And that worked for that didn't really go anywhere, funnily enough. And then recently I tried sort of a twist on that, which is called Ranty Runs, where I just go out and on a single unbroken take on the GoPro, just rant about whatever's in my head for half an hour. They've been really good for engagement among subscribers. Subscribers love them. I get huge, really good, I don't get a lot of outside views on them, but the subscribers really like them and I get huge engagement. I never thought that. And they're actually watching 30-minute long videos of me just spouting off, talking nonsense. So just, you don't know what's going to click with people, so just try a really wide variety of content and see which ones create engagement. It's not about the views so much as it is about the engagement. You want the comments, you want people creating conversations, and I think that matters a lot more than necessarily just the top, figure of numbers. Biggest disappointment, I wrote this down. Pain point. I've probably slightly covered that, but the thing that concerns me most at the minute is that like the channel is growing. It's not like growing at super speed compared to like really fast growing channels out there, but it's growing kind of steadily. And the thing that's sort of annoying me the most at the minute is that if it continues to grow the way it's growing, at some point I will have to stop replying to comments. And I find that absolutely gutting. Like I have a background, I worked in camera sales way back. I've always enjoyed helping people out with either technical problems or helping them to make purchases. That makes it sound really noble. Actually, I just like to help part people with their money. But I do like replying to comments and giving people advice and seeing how I can help them out. I get a lot of satisfaction from that. But at the minute, I'm spending about 7 hours a week doing that. at some point, if the number of comments continue to grow, I'll have to not do that as much. Or there are people who I would regularly message. I feel once a channel grows to a certain point, the creator can't help but lose contact or not have the same close level of engagement with the audience as they used to, and that's kind of it's a very bitter sweet thing. Yeah, don't know if you call it a disappointment or just, yeah, I would miss that if it has to go someday. So
yeah, I can see that. I guess it probably depends on the kind of channel. Your channel, I think, and you come across as quite endearing and approachable. So I guess you probably maybe suffer, for want of a better word, that more than some channels. But equally, you can see how some of the big channels where people's persona is to be super friendly, I mean, like a Sean Joris type character.
yeah,
I've got no idea how he kept on top of that channel when he was going through the explosive growth, when it's best day ever, everyone's best friend. I mean, that must have been completely bonkers, unless there actually was more to the team than him and his wife and his best mate earlier on. Otherwise, that guy probably didn't sleep. But then again, maybe just masses of sugar and who knows.
he has so much
crazy
energy.
Things.
I've met him a couple of times, and he's just, he is full on. I think you need a certain personality type to be able to do that. I don't have. I find I can summon the energy to get a video done, but a lot of the times I wouldn't be like really high energy, really enthusiastic all the time. A lot of the times I'd be quite quiet and tired. Spend a lot of time feeling tired. And there are some people who just seem to constantly have crazy energy, and are able to do it. But yeah, I don't know how he did it.
Nah. So looking at your video stats, I tried to have a bit of a dig, and for some reason I had a look this afternoon. I couldn't find the numbers, but I like to look at people's smallest video and their biggest video. There's often quite a gulf between them, and to understand actually what went into the videos and what the idea was and how you put it together, how you were thinking when you were making that video, and maybe sort of why it went really well or went not so well, can be really enlightening, and you can learn an awful lot from talking about that. So if we talk about your smallest video or some of your smaller videos, whatever you prefer, what was the original sort of concept between those sort of videos? When you were making them, did you feel really positive, or was there something lacking? And what did you learn from that video or videos?
There's two videos I'll mention here. One of them didn't get very many views because it probably deserved to not get very many views, and the other one I was really disappointed it didn't get a lot of views. In 2018, I think that was the first. I think I started posting weekly in September 2018. I think, as I said, memory's terrible, but I think it was my first Christmas special. I think probably the only Christmas special I've done. I think I'd been watching too much Good Mythical Morning at the time and decided to do a video just eating weird food as a Christmas special. And most of the other videos I've been posting up until then, I think, had been like outdoors or running videos. So the video was called Eating Fermented Cabbage, and I got 153 views. So it's one of the worst viewed videos. I think people just didn't care to watch me and my sister eat fermented cabbage and random sweets. The lessons learned from that are that people come to your channel for something specific, and if they don't think they're going to get it from the video, they won't watch. Sometimes they will. Sometimes you can make a video that will give them what they came for, but they don't realize it, and you have to trick them into watching it. So if I'm making a video that has something that's off topic that I maybe haven't done before, I'll try and tie it into running, or I'll try and tie it into technology, and then sort of trick them into this into this new topic. Because if you just put it up there in the title up front, something that's completely different from what you posted before, it just doesn't do well at all. And the second thing is, YouTube's the same. YouTube doesn't like it if you suddenly go and do something that's off brand. I have discovered you can operate in a fairly large box. Doesn't have to be a super tight niche, but if you go crazy way off to one side, YouTube freaks out, doesn't know what to do with it, and doesn't seem to like promote it in any way. The second video was the one I thought was going to make my channel explode. because I spent so much work on it, and that was called the balloon shot. I had this concept, just a visual image in my head of a red balloon up above a forest covered in snow. And I thought if I could make a video about this, it's got an iconic looking image, it's got technology, it's got an interesting story, it's got, you know, all this stuff. And I just thought this is exactly the sort of video, this will get hundreds of thousands of views and the channel will just blow up with this one video. So there's so much work went into it, like buying helium tanks and you know, having to go out and shoot this video with less than 24 hours notice because our weather forecasts are already correct. But at the time, it was the most work I put into a video, and it got no more views than normal. I uploaded it, I saw it go, and I was waiting, okay, any point now, this is just going to spike, and it didn't. It didn't. I think in total, since then, it's got maybe 1,500 views, which I'm pretty happy with long term. But at the time, I was gutted because I just thought it would explode, and nothing happened.
It's so funny, isn't it? Something like that, which one person can do a video that seems so similar, and yet get such a different outcome. Yeah.
What that made me realize is that YouTube doesn't reward great or novel content as a rule. It's an exception. And sometimes people will get lucky. But what is rewarded is consistent and regular, at least good content. I think that's what I learned from that one.
Yeah, 100%. I can see. Yeah, I think maybe if you're doing outreach and stuff off platform to bring people in, maybe those novelty things. If you've got a PR campaign behind it, maybe then. But yeah, 100%. If you're not doing what YouTube wants, then and expects, then it doesn't help anyone. It's a real shame. On the more positive, we've done the down. Let's do the more positive stuff. Some of your higher view videos, I noticed, tend to be the kind of based around main brand action cams. Those videos, is there a strategy behind those? When you make them, is there a particular thing you're aiming for? And have you learned anything from those videos that get that sort of really good view count and above the others?
Yeah, so the most successful video I've made so far is called GoPro Hero 8 is amazing for landscape photography. It's got 220,000 views on it, and it's the classic case of it was a throwaway video I made as a filler one week when I didn't have time to make a proper video. There was a day I was out in the mountains doing a photography vlog, spectacular sunset, got some of the best conditions for landscape photography ever. There's a separate vlog about that. Actually, no, that's a lie, sorry. The year before, I made a video called GoPro Hero 7 Black is amazing for landscape photography. I have the same video with just different versions of the GoPro, which is a lesson in itself. Yes, which it was basically a leftover from a photography vlog. I realised I brought the GoPro when we were out shooting up in Donegal. It's an amazing landscape, really, really good video around that. Got like a couple of thousand views maybe. And I'd taken a few shots on the GoPro, processed them, thought there might be a video in this, and threw together in a couple of hours this really quick video about how to use Lightroom basically to get good results out of raw files from a GoPro, and it just exploded. And then the previous year I made exactly the same video with the next version of the GoPro, and it also just exploded. And I've got mixed feelings about those videos, because on one hand my concern is that, well, it's been great that they've got a lot of views, and I think they have got a lot of subscribers, but I think they may have got a lot of people subscribing who suddenly thought, oh, this is a photography channel, and then are disappointed. So it's led to a strategy now with technology. I produce roughly what I would call two different types of videos. There's subscriber bait, and then there's the videos that I do want to make the subscriber videos because I am really into technology. I love technology. Yeah, there's the subscriber bait, and then there's like the fun stuff, what I want to do, like that's running videos, hiking videos, camping videos, and like vlogs and stuff like that. But what I've realized is that subscriber bait gear videos basically will always get the most views, and if you're going to use them as a growth technique on your channel, you need to make sure that your channel personality is in those videos. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get somebody to watch your video because they're just trying to use you for your information. But while they're there, you need to have enough of your personality or your channel's personality to then convert them over to wanting to view your other types of content. Now, that doesn't apply if you're just trying to make a tech channel, because they're only there for the tech, whereas I'm trying to attract people in with the tech videos, but then get them to stay and watch the other content. So they need to get a flavor for that in all of your videos, and it's one of the reasons I've insisted on having an intro that's probably a little bit too long. I've had occasionally I'll get a couple of people complaining about how long my intro is, and it is longer. If all the advice says my intro is about 3 times as long as it should be, but I've deliberately put it in there at almost, and it always goes at the start of tech videos, because I want the people who, those larger numbers, to know what they're letting themselves into, and it is specifically designed to communicate the idea that this is not just a tech channel, and it's a little bit silly. Yeah, and that's sort of how I approach those kinds of videos.
Smart. It's that almost filtering at the point of entry.
Yes.
So you're getting that the people who watch past that are people who are liable to watch more and hopefully subscribe. And
I'm perfectly happy for people to watch my intro, and I accept the fact that there'll be people who watch my intro and they will think, what tube, I hate this guy just from his intro, and off I go. And that's fine, because as you say, that's a filter. You don't want those people. They're not going to be useful long term. You want the people who are like, that's kind of funny, and who stay. Because I'm the same. I do that. I mean, you probably do it as well. You'll go into a channel and someone will start talking, and immediately their personality puts you off. It's just the way we are. Certain people like different people.
I specialise in it. What can I? Yeah, man, totally. Yeah, I think I specialise in that. I think I turn people off my videos super fast if you look at my analytics.
It's a fine art.
So to round up, because it's been super fun. Always fun to talk about. If you woke up tomorrow morning and your channel had gone, and you decided that you weren't done, you want to go back and start over, what would you do? What would your sort of first 3 videos be that you would put up to sort of re-kickstart things and start over?
Well, I'd have to ask a clarifying question to that, because there's 2 answers. It depends. Are you wanting me to start a channel that grows really fast, or am I wanting to create a channel I want to make? Because there's 2, those are 2 different answers. If it was a case of growing a channel fast, I would start making videos about how to start trail running. That's what I would do. I would start a channel that specialised only about running, and I would start with a how-to series, because immediately you're making a video which is search friendly, how to start trail run or how to start marathon run, whatever like that. It's useful, so you're more likely to get someone to subscribe, and it's also the sort of thing that will encourage engagement, because people always have questions about how to start things. So that's what I would do. I would start a running channel, and it would start with how to get into running, be that trail running or whatever. And then I would run that, start with that kind of series, and then start bringing in running gear reviews, shoes and things like that, and build it up that way. But I wouldn't want to do that, because I get really bored really quickly when I'm doing the one thing. So it wouldn't matter how much money I made doing that. I would just get fed up being stuck in that gap. I'm more motivated by novelty than I am by money, which has caused me financial problems on more than one occasion. But if I was starting now, doing my channel the way I'm doing it at the minute, what I would do is I would start by doing that. I would start with creating a series about how to get into trail running. My first three videos, my first video would be how to start trail running. My second video would just drop several memory cards all over the ground. My second video would be called something like Amazing Northern Ireland, and it would just be a montage of like all my outdoors and drone footage all around Northern Ireland. And my third video would be, that's a wild card, I'm not quite sure, possibly one of my running vlogs, like up in the mountains. I think that's how I would start. And then follow that pattern of make a video that teaches people something, make a video that makes people go whoa, and then make something that's fun. I think
that's really interesting that that both those options divert from technology.
Sorry?
It's interesting that both those divert from your current sort of technology and video making and photography.
Yeah, well, the reason for that is that I know that those subjects will work well. If I want a video to do well, I just wait until a new camera is released, buy it, and make a video about it, and that will do well. So, but I would want to stand out, and there's any number, I mean, lots of people are doing tech, so I think it's important to have, if you're doing something that other people are doing, what is it that you do that they don't do? And for me, that's tying in running and outdoors with tech. So I would want to establish the running side of it probably early on. I mean, those are my first three videos. My fourth one might be something with a GoPro video or something like that.
Yeah, that's super smart. I think a lot can be learnt from that, and I like the fact you went, do you want to start the channel again for your own sort of hobby, your personal growth, or a non-financial reason, or for a financial reason? I think that's really interesting as well, because not enough people talk about the fact that doing YouTube originally, a lot of people making money now were probably doing it for the love of it. And bringing the number of people you see get disheartened and saddened and depressed and throwing their toys out the pram over it seems to often deep down think they're going to make a living from it. And the people who just keep hacking at it are the people who just really love communicating or making or so on. So yeah, it's really interesting that you dropped those two, sort of that differential and those two different options. Dude, this has been amazing. I've wanted to chat to you for ages. It's really lovely to get a chance to sit down and have a natter. Let people know where they can find you, and I'll sign off.
Okay, you can find me on YouTube channel Stephen J Reid. You can find me on Instagram Stephen J Reid. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter, but I don't use those quite so much for all the obvious reasons.
Awesome. I'll bung Stephen's contact details down below, as in where to find him on YouTube, not his house number or phone number. That would be weird.
You have my house number.
And then I'll bung the usual my stuff down below as well, and there'll be a button somewhere probably where you can connect to his channel as well, and go and see him run in the snow because he's completely bonkers.
I was going to say thanks, thanks for having me on, and I appreciate the fact this is a talent. You have kept almost to the dot to what you said, 30 minutes. I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to do this. It'll last for an hour. So yeah, kudos to keeping to your timings.
Awesome, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit like so that we know that you like us. And if you want to see more of this kind of content, hit subscribe. I aim for once a week to make video and photography based videos, but at the moment things are super busy and it takes longer than that, so there'll be more videos at some point. And I'll see you later. Bye.